closest thing to God. No matter what's going on, we have to rise consistently every day, and we have to provide consistently every day. We have to serve consistently every day.
He has to have a code. He has to have certain things he's going to say and do, and he means it. You know, when I was coming up, if a man said something, that was his word was bond.
For some guys, they're invisible to women. In order for them to stop complaining, they just really have to step up their game, meaning they have to step up their strategy. They have to become a more attractive guy. So the reason why so many guys are sexless is because they don't have any game.
Weak men need to be purged. And what I mean by that is that there was a time where only the strongest men had valuable things.
Anybody that's been out here in the last 10 years, it's easier to get sex than it is to make $100. Basically put yourself in a position and they throwing it to you. So I think, again, weak men have risen up and they have a voice and they spew their shit onto other weak men and they fall for it. And it's this whole victimhood thing.
I say, okay, put your arm out. They put their arm out. I say, grab your arm. You can grab your arm.
When I think of a man in my head, he takes responsibility with a purpose. And this responsibility gives him struggle, and through that struggle, he gets strength, and through that strength, he creates structure.
Smack your arm. You can smack your arm. Pinch your arm. Okay, you're real. Go fucking knock on Fear's door and grab his arm.
Whatever he wants out of life, whatever he desires out of life, whatever steps he wants to take to secure what he requires, I think he should be true to that first and foremost.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
See, the emotional male will always use emotions to make excuses for the fact he ain't shit.
You gotta be ready to go the distance behind what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to die about some shit.
Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the women you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Topsoil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity, specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
Click the link below and get your tickets to the Game Kings 2, The Definition of a Man documentary screening that's going to be held in Miami on October 26th, 2024. You'll be the first to watch the documentary, and then after the documentary, you'll be able to participate in a question and answer session with the Game Kings live. Space is limited, so click the link below and get your tickets now. Yo, what's poppin'? What's good? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the motherfucking dating game. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. What's good? What's going on? April has let me know that football is happening. So people might be watching football at this time because, I don't watch that shit like that. So I'm out of touch with all of that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just spitting the game here. You feel what I mean? The game never sleeps. The game does not care about football games and all that other shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because, we out here in these streets trying to get it cracking. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. So today, guys, I'm talking about the pros and cons of being a player. I'm going to be responding to a video from a YouTuber, Danny Vera. Shout out to him. I like a lot of his stuff. I don't agree with everything he say, but he says some pretty good stuff. And I'm gonna be breaking this down because, a lot of guys, they think or they want to be players, and they think that they can just make this happen. And what I want you guys to understand is that being a player is not for the faint of heart. You feel what I'm saying? Most guys are not going to be able to do this. Most guys, fantasize about being a player, having a whole bunch of women. And the thing is this: if you guys get on the Bad Boy membership, you guys are on the Masculine Identity membership, you'll be able to be a player. You understand? But the issue is most guys, the average dude, is not going to be able to make that happen. But before I get into all of that, I want to say real quick, make sure that you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you get that cracking. I don't know why my fucking dance is not acting right. Make sure you guys go and get that shit cracking. Go to masculineidentitymembership.com. Also, make sure you guys go to badboymembership.com.
Do it! Just do it!
Where you get 45 to 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. So make sure you guys go and get that shit cracking. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody, in the building for the late night game. Is going to be fire as usual. You know what I'm saying? Who we got up in here? Let me shout out to everybody. Monogamous Player AT, Steve O Baby. My lady April MC is in the motherfucking building. Mike Chain, Mike Larry, Chills, Luciano, B Daddy, Chocolate Daddy. Pause on both of that shit. Who else we got up in here? June Sports. Shout outs to who else we got up in here? Fosa is in the building. Joe Blast is in the motherfucking building. And guys, if you want to call up, the calling number is 646-481-3901. 646-481-3901 is the number. Shout out to Skills Fitness. Lewis is in the building. Kobe Lean is in the building. Mike Chain is up in here. So let me bring this video up real quick. And we're gonna just jump right into this shit. And if you guys have a question, put a Q in the chat. And if you want to call the number 646-481-3901. 646-481-3901 is the number. All right, so let me pull this up real quick. Let me share the screen. So, the title of this video right here, he titled it "Sleep with as many women as possible, bro." You know what I'm saying? That was the name of the title of the video. Well, let me do my thing to make sure I get this right how I want it. You feel what I'm saying? Let me bring this up. We blow this up real big like this. You feel me? And so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna start it, stop it, and go into what's being said, and so that you guys can hear what's going on, and we're gonna break this down. So in this video, he's going to be talking about, the pros and the cons of being a player. You feel what I'm saying? So let me start this and we're going to get into it. Let's go.
With as many girls as possible, bro, is a mindset and a goal that a lot of guys chase, but is it really all it's cracked up to be? On the surface, getting with a ton of hot girls and living a player lifestyle sounds like the dream, but is it really as satisfying as it seems? Is it worth it or is it not? Well, let's talk about the pros and cons of living a lifestyle where it's new girls all the time, and we'll start on the bright side of things by talking about some of the pros, or at least some of the perceived upside of the player lifestyle. And the first one is the lack of responsibility and commitment that a typical monogamous relationship requires. Now, I've had long-term relationships that were great and a lot of fun, but at the same time, I can't deny that there is a lot of upside to not having any commitment to a single woman. Depending on your lifestyle and what you're into, you can party until 3 a.m. if you want to. You can get up and go on vacation with the boys if you feel like it. You can invite 10 different girls over in a week if you're up for it. Or you can sit in peace and quiet all weekend without having to worry about going to a random wedding your girl signed you up for. Or
now, let me stop that real quick for a second. So the thing is, he's saying, one of the pros is that when you're playing, you're not really in a monogamous relationship with a chick. You can hang out at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can go on vacation with your boys and do all this other shit. You can do all this other extra stuff. Now, this is the thing. See, you can still do all those things in a monogamous relationship. You just have to create the structure of how your relationship is going to be with your girl. So if you're vetting a woman and she becomes your girl, right? You can say, hey, listen, before I give you the position of girlfriend, understand that there are going to be times where I will be out at 3 a.m. There are going to be times where I am going to be going on vacation and trips with my peoples and doing all that other stuff, right? So you are supposed to create the structure of how your relationship is going to be. A lot of times the problem is that a lot of guys don't create the structure of how they want their relationship to be. So they get into a monogamous relationship. And then what happens is that, certain things just sort of go a certain way because they're going with the direction that the woman wants to go in. You feel what I'm saying? But let me see. We got call in here. Hold on. We got, let's go to 647. 647. What's popping? Who this?
It's Recommend.
Recca, did you donate?
Yeah, I sent $10.
So wait, the PayPal? Okay, I got you. Yeah. So what's going on, Van? What's going
on? Both of the questions are connected or whatever, but the first question is like, I called into a show that you and Miles did like a couple months back.
Uh-huh.
And you were talking about and basically like you were saying that I basically use women like as a coping mechanism and shit.
Uh-huh.
So like I had a situation and like I kind of see what you're talking about because like this shit just got me kind of like fucked up and shit. Like where I can't even eat and shit like that and I just want to fucking lay around. But realistically, like I should be able to just fucking not even give a shit.
So wait, hold on. What's your question though?
Yeah, so like how can I kind of get past like having codependency issues
when it
like
comes
from getting too caught up into a situation and it ends.
Well, the thing is that you have to be able to deal with women, right? On a non-needy, non-clingy basis, but that has to first come from your mindset when it comes to you dealing with women. So what happens is that you need to be able to deal with women in the sense of, okay, I'm having I'm enjoying my time with her and I'm just enjoying the experience, but I'm not holding on to the experience. So for example, if you were to watch a movie, right? Like think about watching a movie. And the movie's 2 hours. You put the movie on, you enjoy the movie. The movie's an action movie. You're entertained by the action. It's fun. You're eating your popcorn. You're doing all that other shit. And then when the movie is over, you go do something else. You see what I'm saying? But the problem is that you've connected your sense of self and your happiness and whatever the fuck else to women. And so what it is that you need to be able to enjoy yourself without women. So what I would say to you is you need to find some time to do shit without women. So go out and do something fun without women. Take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month off from dealing with women. You see what I'm saying? And be able to sit in that situation without dealing with women. You see what I'm saying? Because right now it's like, because you're doing all this extra shit to stay with women or be around women or have women around. What happens is that you've tricked your brain into thinking that you need the women around in order for you to feel normal. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get you. But like, I had periods where like, for example, when I was younger, and like I had more gaps of time in between even having women, and I'd just be playing video games or making music. Like, I kind of didn't even care that it's been 3 months since I had a girl or whatever at that time.
But now, but that's what I'm saying. Now it's different. So now you've gotten so used to getting more and more women. So now what happens is, because you've gotten used to getting more and more women, your reality has become of a guy who's gotten the women now. So now that you don't have women, or women are not, or not necessarily you don't have women, but let's say a woman's not calling you back, or shit don't work out with a chick. What happens is that it feels a certain type of way, because once you started getting women, you started to identify with that. You started to say, man, well, this is who I am. And if I don't have women now, then who am I? So you're going to feel some type of way. So what I'm saying is that you need to take some time to just take time off to be with yourself. Like spend at least a month not calling no women, talking to no women, going out on no dates, doing none of that shit. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, after that, what you should do is that you can still interact with women, but at the same time, sit with the feeling of how it feels when you talk to a woman, set something up, and she flakes on you, or you try to make something happen with a woman sexually and she don't want to do it and it doesn't go down. Like, you have to be able to sit with that feeling, because that feeling is going to, or that situation is going to happen over and over again anyway. So anything that you're going through when it comes to dealing with women, as far as them not being around, that's going to continue to happen for the rest of your life. So what I mean by that is that there's going to be times where a woman's not going to respond to you. She's not going to show up. She's going to flake. She's going to ghost. She's going to do all these things. That will never stop happening. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you keep attaching your sense of happiness to that, you're going to always be miserable, because you keep attaching your sense of happiness to that shit. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
Right. So are you on a masculine identity membership?
I was.
Nigga,
I was for
you need to get on that. You need to get some coaching, brother. You know what I'm saying? But what's your second question?
Yeah, so with that situation that ended, like, I'm trying to backtrack and see, because basically there's supposed to be a reason why, which is supposed to be my fault, why the girl got mad or whatever. But I kind of suspect maybe I got game ran on me or something like that, and I'm trying to see where I went wrong in the situation. If you could backtrack it for me.
So what's the situation?
Well, basically, the girl kind of switched up a little bit, because I called in actually a few days ago with you and Steve, but basically the girl almost got an STD for me.
Oh, that situation. Okay, remember we told you this on the show, bro. And this is the thing. This is another thing. You have to be able to accept what we're saying. See, the whole situation with that was that you said you smashed some chick and then you smashed your main chick, right? But you smashed
No. I hadn't smashed my main chick. I smashed some chick and then I had issues, but then I didn't know how long I could have had it for, so I had to
right. So the random chick you smashed without a condom, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is I'm not even talking about like that situation of the STD. I'm talking about if that was actually the issue, or if she was running game anyway.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. A woman can't run game on you if you have game. But what I'm saying is that you're making ridiculous choices and mistakes because your game is weak. So what happens is that you having sex with this other girl without a condom, that's a mistake, right? So I always tell you guys, listen, when you do everything right on your end, right? When you do everything right on your end, then that gives the woman the opportunity to show you if she's really down for what you're about. And if you're doing everything correct on your end, she can't run game on you. You understand what I'm saying? So you're worried about, is she trying to run game on you? You don't ever have to worry about if a woman's running game on you if you're doing everything correct on your end. So for example, if I approach a woman, right? And I want to hook up with her, right? Me doing everything correct on my end would be to go and approach her and say, hey, listen, I'm interested in us getting together to hook up, right? So now all I'm looking for is her response to that. So now she can only say yes or no because I'm being direct with her. Now, check this out. If I'm being indirect and wishy-washy and I'm being all over the place and I'm being very vague, then she has room to run game on me because I'm doing shit incorrectly. So whenever you do shit correctly on your end, right, then she can't run game on you because what happens is that she's responding to you doing shit correctly. Do you see what I'm saying? So by you fucking this girl, raw, her response to that, you're not going to know if she's quote unquote running game on you because she could just be being resistant because you out there fucking girls raw. So how are you going to know the difference between if she's trying to run game on you or if she's actually interested in you, but she don't really want to fuck with you because you fucking girls raw? You see what I'm saying? So your actions have to be on point so that you don't have to worry about women running game on you. This is what we keep trying to tell you. See, you keep going in situations where you think shit don't matter or it's not a big deal. Or what happens is that your codependency on women makes you do goofy shit like fucking a random girl raw. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that you have to be in a situation where you're not being dependent on that. And truthfully, you might need to go and get some therapy, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Because if this is really that crazy of an issue, there might be something deeper going on that you might need to actually talk to a therapist about. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I got it. All right. Thanks.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate the call, man. All right, man. Yeah. So guys, call in number is 646-481-3901. 646-481-3901. All right, so let's get back to this real quick. All right, so let's continue real quick with this. Let's go.
Or doing some couples activity that just bores you to tears. There are no limits to anything, whereas in a relationship, you'll be limited by what you can and can't do to some degree. This is one of the
So again, he's saying he said a pro of being a player is that you're not in a relationship. And because when you're in a relationship, you're sort of limited to certain things you can or can't do. Now, if you're in a monogamous relationship, really the only thing you're limited to is the fact that you're not supposed to be fucking other women. But, he was talking about like going to some wedding or some shit you don't want to do. Guys, if you are in a long-term relationship, this is why you vet a woman and this is why you let a woman know what your program is. Because if you have a program, you don't have to do anything in a relationship you don't want to do. See, a lot of guys feel trapped and they think they have to do a particular thing because, oh, well, this is my girl and she wants to do that. No, you just let a girl know, hey, this is what I want to do and this is what I don't want to do. And what happens is sometimes your girl may want to do shit that you don't want to do. And then she could go do that with her girlfriends and all that other shit, but you ain't got to go do that shit. But let's continue.
The biggest benefits to the lifestyle and one of the hardest to let go once you get used to it, especially when it specifically comes to the freedom that you have to date a wide variety of women wherever you go. There are no limits to anything, whereas in a relationship, you will be limited by what you can do and can't do to some degree. Once you get good at being consistent with landing dates and raising women's attraction, it can almost feel like a game to see how many you can get. And that can be a lot of fun, but there's some downsides to that too that I'll mention later. But to wrap up this point, the freedom you have with this type of lifestyle is one that a lot of married men are envious of. It's total freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want.
And that is true. A lot of guys who are married envy guys who are players, guys who have a lot of options, because most of these guys who are married are, usually beta males who just kind of, cuffed and wifed the chick quickly because he wanted to have a woman in his life. You feel what I'm saying? But let's continue.
With whoever you want. Now, the second pro is the one that most guys strive for when they pursue a player lifestyle in the first place, and that's variety. One of the hardest things about maintaining a monogamous relationship is the fact that routine is working against you over time. You can only sleep with the same woman so many times before it becomes monotonous, even a little bit. And living a player lifestyle solves this by allowing you to rotate girls in and out whenever you'd like. If you feel like having a white girl one day, an Asian girl another day, a thick girl this day, a thin girl that day, it's all fair game. You can have whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as you have a consistent flow of leads with women.
Yeah, and that's the thing. See, the variety is the one of the coolest things about being a player, right? But see, the thing is that in order to get that variety, you need to be able to have skill and know how to attract that variety. And a lot of guys, they can't do that. So they would love it, but they don't have the game to do that. But let's continue.
But again, there's a warning here because this can also be highly addicting. And anything that encourages constant hits of dopamine is probably not the best thing in the long run. There's always a downside to every upside, so keep that in mind. The third benefit, or perceived benefit, is that you will develop nuclear levels of confidence and experience. One of the biggest factors for building confidence is stacking up proof that you are capable of something. And before you've really accomplished something, it's difficult to be entirely confident in your ability.
See, now that I always disagree with. Now, so he's basically saying that, a lot of times you being able to do a certain thing, right? You get more confident because you're doing it, which is true. But you're confident because you're competent in it, meaning that you know how to do something, which is competence, and then you're confident because you know how to do that thing, right? The thing is, though, is that you don't want to have the mindset of, well, I have to be able to do something or be good at doing something in order to be confident at it, because then what's going to happen is that overall your core confidence, right, is going to be low because you're attaching confidence to being able to do a certain thing. See, when you have core confidence, you just believe in yourself and you see yourself a certain way in general, right? And so what happens is that there are certain things that you may say, well, I don't know how to do this thing, right? That's cool. I don't know how to do it. But what happens is that confidence, like real core confidence, is saying, you know what? Even though I don't know how to do it, I believe that I can do it, and I will try it to see if I can make it happen. And if I can't make it happen, I will learn what I need to do what I need to do to make it happen. So a lot of times what happens is that, and I see this a lot on the internet where guys talk about, well, you can't be confident unless you've done the thing first, which is bullshit, right? Because see this book right here, right? How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day, right? I wrote that book, and I wrote a few more books. So before I wrote a book, right, I never written a book before, but I was confident that I could. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't need to have to write a book and then be like, man, you know what? I wrote a book, so now I'm confident to write the next one. No, when I wrote my first book, I was confident that I could write a book, even though I've never done it. But let's continue.
And there's a degree of having to fake it until you make it. There's this issue that before you've really accomplished something, it's difficult to be entirely confident in your ability. And there's a degree of having to fake it until you make it. But when you do see that you are capable of dating a variety of girls on a regular basis, you will become very confident in your abilities with women. This is boosted even more if you really push the boundaries of what you believe you're capable of and continue to pull higher quality women over time, many of which will be women you didn't even think were possible to pull at one point.
Oh, and another thing too, is you have to be very careful with that, where, I understand, you're more confident within yourself because you're like, man, I'm able to pull these chicks and I got some shit popping with these girls. So now you're feeling better about yourself. The problem though is, and I've had this too, where when you become, let's say, good at attracting women and getting girls and making shit happen, right? And you start feeling good about yourself, like, yeah, I'm the man. I got this game, man. These chicks be all over me, and I could make this shit happen. And this chick and that chick and blah 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 and all that other stuff, right? What happens though is that there are times where you might get into like a dry spell where shit's not popping off, as often as it once was, because you're in that dry spell, and things will pick up later on, down the line. But when you're in that dry spell, what could happen is, because you've sort of attached your confidence, and this is kind of like what Rekka was talking about, right? In a sense, right? You attach your confidence to the women. Then what happens is that when there's a time when you're not getting women, then you don't feel as confident, because now, because the women aren't there, or shit's not flowing in the way you want it to go, or it's been a while since you've been making shit happen, or let's say you've been working on some projects or some shit and you haven't really been out and dealing with women, and then you try to go back out there and you're getting rejected and shit's not flowing how it was the last time. You start to doubt yourself because you've attached your confidence to dealing with women. This is why we try to tell you guys that the game is not about women. Because when you make it about women, then what happens is you're attaching your confidence, your sense of self to the women. But let's continue.
And along the way, you will also accumulate a ton of experience in various scenarios. You will know exactly how to run a date that leads to pulling the girl back to your place, how to get a girl to come straight over, or how to pull a hot girl off Instagram or at a bar, etc. A lot of this also carries over into knowing how to get a girlfriend if you want to, since you have such a firm understanding of female psychology at a certain point. Once you have faced the common scenarios that you'll see with women over and over again, you learn all the ins and outs of the game to the point where you know exactly what to do or what is most likely going to work for that scenario.
That is true. That is definitely true. See, I try to tell you guys that when you go out there and you interact with women, right? You go on dates, you hook up with women, right? You're interacting with these chicks. You're talking to them, you're practicing, having conversations with women, flirting and all this other stuff. What happens is that you start to see certain patterns. You start to see certain things happening over and over again. You start to see, oh, well, when this is occurring, I know that this woman is highly interested. When this is occurring, I could see she's an attention whore. When this is occurring, it's more likely that she's going to come back to my place. When this is occurring, you see what I'm saying? Like, you start to see the patterns. You feel what I'm saying? But let's continue.
You become good at thinking quickly on your feet, and all of this creates a sureness in yourself that is capable of going anywhere in the world and knowing that you can have success with women, and that is a powerful skill set. The fourth pro is that your social skills in general will just skyrocket. Constantly interacting with new girls will significantly improve your communication and social skills, making you more skilled at handling various social situations overall. You learn to handle a wide variety of personality types, cultural backgrounds, and communication styles through a wide range of social scenarios. And on average, if guys are going to hesitate to communicate in a social situation or get stuck, it's usually when talking to an attractive woman rather than just talking to another guy. And that's not to say that there can't be awkwardness or anxiety for guys to make friends with other guys. Of course that's true. But usually attractive women are the even bigger test to a guy's psyche. But on that note, you will have to overcome certain fears and mental blocks. So for example, if you hesitate to escalate with women in general, you will have to become good at it to be an effective player, or else you aren't exactly a player. But those advancements in your personal development and your ability to overcome your fears and anxieties will often carry over into better social skills and social confidence all around. Because
that is true. So a lot of times what happens is, you have guys who are kind of socially awkward, right? And what happens is that when guys become better at, for example, talking to women, that translates into just your overall social skills in general. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, what happens is the reason why they're terrible at attracting women is because they don't have those social skills. And so not only do they not have those social skills with the women, they don't really have social skills just in general when it comes to dealing with people. So what they might have is they might know how to, have a conversation with their best friend they play video games with, right? But outside of that, right, they don't understand social cues. They don't know how to read the room. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of that goes down when you don't have game. You understand? Let's continue.
Because it's pretty rare to see a guy who has lived a successful lifestyle of a player and isn't good with people overall. I'm sure there's someone, but honestly, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But anyway, this ties into building confidence through experience, and you will feel confident in any social scenario after a while. Because if you can repeatedly take an attractive woman from being a stranger all the way to your bed, your threshold to handle any social situation without anxiety or hesitation is going to be much higher. Now, the fifth benefit is that it keeps you looking attractive. An underrated and less talked about benefit is that living a successful lifestyle like this will keep you on top of your physical attractiveness. You'll be motivated to stay in shape, dress your best, and look good overall. And you will also be motivated to seek improvements to see if you can just squeeze out even better results. But overall, it keeps you on top of your game because you're constantly generating new options with women, and you know you have to be at the top of your game to do so. And if you're leveraging online game like online dating apps and Instagram to generate leads and dates with women around the clock, which by the way, if you need help with that, click the first link in the description. You will be taking new photos and keeping your profiles updated, which will also motivate you to keep everything in check physically and to stay sharp. And of course, these should be habits that you have anyway, even if you're in a relationship, but there's definitely a noticeable boost to stay on top of your physical traits when you're constantly dating new girls.
So what he's saying is that, you know, you'll be motivated to look your best and look better and all that other stuff, right? Which is true. But the thing is that should be something you're doing, period. You understand? Regardless, like that should be something that you're doing every day, you know, 8 days a week, 25 hours a day type shit. So that shouldn't be a thing that's sort of like, you know, based on the fact that you're motivated because you're just trying to get women, because then it becomes a thing where you're again doing it for the woman. So you never want to get into the mindset of I'm doing this for women. And this is what a lot of guys have on the internet, where this is why they have all these looks maxing channels and, you know, guys worrying about getting their money up and their status up and all that. It's not for them. It's like, well, I'm doing this because I want to get the girl. And I tell you guys that when you have game, it's not about you getting the girl. It's about the girl getting you, which means that when you interact with a woman should be impressing you. She should be showing you that, you know, she's worth being in your situation. You see what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Girls. The sixth benefit is that you become very good at vetting and filtering for certain types of women. After dealing with a wide variety of girls, you'll be able to identify red flags from afar and know exactly what they lead to. Your ability to vet women becomes incredibly sharp, and you start to develop like a sixth sense of sorts of what type of woman she is ahead of time. And that
is a fact. That is a fucking fact. See, when you have experience dealing with women, right, you become very, very good at vetting chicks. That's what I said. Like, you're able to notice a woman being an I remember I was on this dating app or whatever, and there was this chick. She was like, that I matched with. She was like 20, 21 years old or some shit. And she was from like another city or something. And she was like saying she was coming to visit New York at a certain point, like in the next 2 weeks or some shit like that. Right. So she was leaving me voicemail messages on the app. So the app allowed you to leave voice messages. So she was leaving a voice message. Right. So she matched me or whatever. She was trying to leave all this. She was leaving like these sexy voice messages to my, hey, handsome, how are you? I'm going to be in New York at this time. And, you know, we should definitely get together, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I just responded to, I didn't leave voice message. I just texted her and I said, yeah, cool. You know, hit me up when you're out here. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, oh, well, you know, before I get out there, you know, you should tell me, like, you know, like, let me know what you want to do to me. Soon as she said all that, I was like, this chick is a detention whore. You understand what I'm saying? So I responded and I said, listen, as soon as you come through to New York, text me and I will show you what I'm going to do to you. Right? So then she responds with another voice message. And she's talking about, she's like, oh, you know, it's my birthday and, you know, my birthday weekend. So you gotta impress me and blah, 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 and all this other stupid shit. Right. So then And this is me being bored. So I text her back and I said, that's cute that you think you're in charge. So as soon as I wrote that, she knew I knew what the fuck she was doing and she just unmatched me immediately. You see what I'm saying? So she's just playing around being an attention whore. But I could tell that because I'm like, listen, I know how attention whores interact and do their thing. You feel what I'm saying? But 361, what's popping? Who this?
What's up, bro? It's Christian. I just sent 5. Did you get it?
Hold on, to the Cash App?
Yeah, Cash App, huh?
All right, hold on, let me double check. All right, I got you. Appreciate it. So what's going on with your man?
So basically, my question today is, when a woman sees more value in you than just a nut and just like sexually, and like she wants to be in your life because of the man you are, what kind of qualities does she see in you?
You said if she wants to be in your life because of what?
Well, like if she wants to be in, like if she sees more value than you as more than sexually, and like she fucks with you as a man, so she wants to be a part of your life, like. I think so. I heard Steve say something like that, and I wanted you to like go more into like what like qualities does she see in you as a man?
Oh, if she like wants to like be with you on some like she wants to be a girl type shit.
Or I mean, I'm not sure if it's a girl or if it's just like just because of the type of person you are. Like she'll like go out of her way to contribute to you and stuff like that.
Well, it depends because you could have a woman who wants to be with you because she desires you sexually and she respects you as a man, or you could have a woman want to be with you because you tricking and you're a simp. So which one are you asking about?
Not the simping one. I'm talking about you, like, because she respects you.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, the thing is that she just sees you as the top guy. She sees you as the guy who is the most attractive guy she can get. And so therefore she wants to be a part of your program. But the only way you know that is that you allow her or you give her the opportunity to follow your lead. So that means that you have to be a leader. That means that you have to be a guy who knows how to, lead that woman. And then once she's following your lead on a consistent basis, she's being consistently cooperative. Then that shows that, you're that guy she wants to be to be with that way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's just, but so she sees you as attractive. What is she like? What are the attractive qualities that you stand out with?
Mm-hmm. So you say what are the attractive qualities that she sees in you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what it is that she's sexually attracted to you, which means that she thinks you're sexually appealing, right? And also what happens is that she sees qualities of consistency in you. So she's sexually attracted to you, and also she sees that you're a man of his word, right? That you don't play games, that you do what you say, and you know what I mean? So what happens is that those are the things that make her say, oh, okay, yeah, like I'm feeling this situation because he's really about what he's about. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's really a combination of her being sexually attracted to you because she finds you sexually appealing, and also her seeing that consistency and reliability in you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. That makes sense.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's all. I'm gonna just keep watching your
Yes,
live
sir.
stream. I'm just chilling, fam. I just want to say what's up to you.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Appreciate the call, man. All right. So let's get back to this joint real quick. All right, so let's do this. All right, here we go.
Seriously, like a superpower compared to a guy with lesser experience who may walk straight into traps with girls because he isn't able to discern effectively and spot certain signs to avoid ahead of time. Another aspect that makes it almost a superpower of sorts is that other men won't always understand what you're talking about or won't see what you see when you're vetting a woman. They will either be clueless or doubt your judgment, like there's just no way you could be that perceptive, but it's your extensive experience that serves as a reference point that you can rely on.
And see, what he's saying right now is exactly what happens when we have these guys call in and try to debate the game. You understand? They're like, but Locario, but what about this and what about that? And you know, but no, you're wrong because women this and women that. And it's like, bruh, you don't have any idea what's going on, right? So you're coming up with theories and things because you're not actually experiencing those things. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, when you have game and when you're a guy who's a player, right, you have more experience dealing with women. So there's certain things you understand that other guys don't. So when you have game, there are certain things that you understand that other guys who don't have game don't understand. But let's continue.
Many guys will simply just have to walk straight into the fire themselves to understand where you're coming from when you share your knowledge and experience. This is also potentially the biggest benefit of a player lifestyle that carries over to a long-term relationship later on if you decide to go that route, because you will be able to avoid a lot of the girls that would be bad for you in the long run because of the experience that you gained. Now, the seventh benefit is that you become that guy pretty much. Oftentimes as a byproduct of being a guy who constantly has a rotation going or is in contact with a variety of girls, you become the guy who can bring girls to a party, the club, a bar, etc. And that is always highly valuable for any social situation. Because the fact is that most guys you meet will not be able to bring one girl to a party, let alone multiple. But if you are constantly in the field mingling with new girls, it will expand your social circle in general and open up different connections that you wouldn't have had otherwise.
You know, it's funny. That's something that I hardly ever done. Like, because I don't really like believe in kind of hanging out with chicks. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't do that shit. What I do is Captain Creator, you just gotta hit up the Cash App, $ Miss Locario, it's all at the top. All the links are at the top. But yeah, I don't really do that. So like I fuck with chicks and you know I keep the situation as we just fucking. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't really be inviting them out to stuff. Now there were times where you know, like I had friends who would throw events or whatever. And so they would say, oh, I need some people here. Right. And then there were times where, you know, I hit up some people. I was like, yo, come through. You feel what I'm saying? But what happened is that I was doing that in the past. And then I stopped doing that because what happened was when I would invite girls to these places, they would, you know, that would fuck up the consistency of the fuck buddy situation. Because now they thought we were friends and shit. You understand? Like, oh, we're cool and all that. And I'm like, oh, no, we're not. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I haven't really done it like that too much because I would just smash and just sort of keep it at smashing and keep it pushing, keep it moving. But let's continue.
And from there, if you generally have a good reputation with the women that you date or sleep with, you can keep some of them around as acquaintances that will allow you to have girls on tap for a social event. And as a byproduct, it will also boost your social value and attract even more girls. The result of all of this is that you will be looked at as the man by your peers, and some will be extremely jealous as well. And you will get even more social invites due to your connections and the ability to have women around you. And at the very least, you will always have a girl available to go with you to an event if need be. Now, moving on to number 8, the 8th benefit is those bedroom skills. Unless you're not paying attention whatsoever, you will become very good in bed and know exactly how to give a woman a memorable experience, no matter who the girl is or what the circumstance may be. You gain an understanding of women's bodies and what turns them on that just becomes second nature, and they will be able to sense that level of confidence in you throughout the escalation process. And
so with that one, I would say generally, yes, you become better in bed because you have more experience fucking, right? But you have to also take into account sexual chemistry. So just because you are having a good time in bed with this particular girl doesn't mean you're going to have a good time with this other girl. You see what I'm saying? Because you could be with another chick and the shit could just be horrible because y'all aren't sexually compatible. You understand what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that go into sexual compatibility because the more women that you hook up with, the more you realize that different women will like different things. And then because they like those different things may be different than what you like. You see what I'm saying? And then so what happens is that if you and her like totally different shit, then the sexual compatibility won't be there. And then therefore it's not necessarily a good you wouldn't call it a good experience in bed. Do you see what I'm saying? But let's continue.
And women can tell that you've been here before and that you're good at this. And that will keep many of them coming back for more because you are able to provide them with an experience that they just can't find anywhere else. And being good in the sack also pays dividends in a relationship if you choose to go that route later. However, the player life doesn't come without its downsides, some of which can literally be life destroying.
All right, so now he's going to talk about the downsides of being a player. So let's see what's going on here.
So let's switch it up and talk about some of the cons. And this first one can be life-ending, quite literally, and that is getting Me Too'd. All it takes is for one woman to claim that you forced yourself onto her or abused her in some way, and you are instantly in deep trouble, fighting against a system that is inherently against you from the start. The laws and the courts side with women heavily, especially in the United States, and any woman can flip the power dynamic on you in a split second if she wishes to exercise the right to do so. But luckily,
all right, I fucks with Danny, but I gotta hit him with the. I gotta hit him with the joint. So this is the thing. I want to shout out to Kobe Lean. He said he sent $20. Shout out to you, 10 to support for the show and 2 free calls. So we got 2 free calls. Two people can call up for free. Shout out to my dude Kobe Lean in the building. So this is the thing. The thing with this whole Me Too stuff and like a chick can give you the false what allegations and all that other stuff. Now that is something that you definitely need to be aware of. The issue though is that this is why you got to make sure that when you're dealing with women, you're vetting women for casual sex. This is why I tell you guys to go to badboymembership.com because I have a whole program on there talking about how to vet women for casual sex. So what happens is this, right? Is that, and he's going to talk about this a little bit too, but the reason why a lot of guys may have an issue in this particular circumstance is because you have guys who either are actually doing fucked up shit to the woman or they're dealing with women who don't really, who's not really 100% interested in them. Like the women don't really like them like that. So then these guys get into situations where they try to wear a woman down, or it's almost like they're begging for the pussy. You understand? They do weird ass shit to try to get sex. And then so what happens is that after the fact, or they're dealing with like a wishy-washy girl. So after the fact, the girl feels some type of way. And then she may say, oh, I felt pressured, this and that happened. But see, this is why you got to make sure that you're only dealing with women who are highly interested in you and who are being cooperative 100%. This is why I don't deal with women who do the quote unquote shit test. This is why I don't deal with women who are uncooperative and trying to, convince them to make something happen. This is why I tell you guys to only deal with women who are 100% cooperative. Also, this is why I say when you're dealing with a woman for the first time, she has to be at a 10 and you have to be at an 8. What does that mean? That means when it comes to the sexual attraction, she should be at a 10 and you should be at an 8, which is to say she should be way more sexually attracted to you and wanting the sex more than you even want it. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you're dealing with that type of woman. What a lot of guys will do is they'll deal with these wishy-washy chicks, or they'll get in a situation where they get a girl tipsy and then they end up hooking up with that tipsy girl. And then later on, after she comes to her senses, now, you see what I'm saying? Then it's a whole nother thing, but let's continue.
Most women won't do this, but all it takes is that one girl who will, and your entire life is in jeopardy in the blink of an eye. And this is also why I recommend trying to be as cool as possible with girls if you're going to go with this type of lifestyle. Because
and what he said right there, be as cool as possible, that is so true. So true. So what that means is that when you're dealing with women, right, you still have to be pleasant when you're dealing with women. You have to be very, very cool. So, you can be flirtatious and, be seductive and all these other things, but you still have to be cool. You understand? You still have to, it's almost like, when they say be a gentleman, right? You have to interject gentlemanly ways throughout the interaction. So what I mean by that is this. So let's say, a girl comes to your house. You say to her, hey, would you like some water? Are you good? Do you need anything? Right? When it's over, hey, let me walk you to your car. When you get home, text me, make sure you got home safe. All of that shit. All of that shit. Right? Even, for example, let's say a girl comes to your crib, right? Y'all are flirting, y'all are kissing at the bar or some shit. Shit's getting all hot and heavy, and you're like, hey, do you want to come back to my place? She's like, oh yeah, let's do that. And she's coming back to your place because she wants to get it in. And then she comes back to your place, and all of a sudden, she changes her mind, right? And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to say, hey, listen, this is no problem. We don't have to do this tonight. It's all good. Listen, I just want you to be comfortable. So if you're not comfortable, we definitely don't got to do something. I had a really great night tonight. But listen, this is what we could do. I will walk you to your car. Are you good? You need anything? You need some water? You need to use a bathroom? You good? Okay, cool. Listen, I'm walking you to your car. You go walk into her car. You give her a hug. And you look her in the eyes and say, I had a really amazing night tonight. It was awesome seeing you. Listen, when you get home, give me a call. I just want to make sure you got home safe. And then she gives you a call. She's like, oh, hey, or a text or whatever. Hey, tell her to text you. She's like, hey, I got home safe. And you're like, oh, I'm so glad you got home safe. I had a really great time. We should do this again another time. You have to be nice. So I'm not telling you be a nice guy, but you got to be nice. Doing that is going to eliminate all of this other extra shit that you might be worried about. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be nice. So, don't be on some shit where a chick, don't want to smash. And you be like, fuck's wrong with you, bitch? Fuck out my house. Like, you don't want to do none of that type of shit. No. Let's continue.
Because I've known guys that were great at getting a ton of girls, but they were also really reckless. And they would sell the girl dreams, play mind games, play with her emotions, or promise her the world and then cut her off suddenly, things like that. And
that is the thing that causes women to be vindictive and will say you did some shit that you probably didn't even do. Because you're playing mind games with her, you're promising her this, you're, lying, faking the funk, and then you smash and then you drop her. You understand? Don't do that shit. You understand? Be honest and be nice. Again, don't be a nice guy, but be nice. You understand what I'm talking about? Well, let's continue.
stuff like that will get anyone emotional, especially a woman. So try to avoid inflaming girls' emotions and messing with heads like that. And it may not be entirely possible, which I'll talk more about in a second, but there are certain things you can do, like not telling a girl that you love her if you don't really mean it. And I bring that up because I knew a guy specifically that would tell girls literally anything they wanted to hear just to keep a rotation going. And that created a lot of angry women once they found out he was full of BS. So you got to be careful.
So exactly. So guys, stop it, all that lying and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Don't do any of that crazy stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Just let her know what it is. And then be cool and keep it pushing.
Similar vein, if you truly live a lifestyle where you're dealing with a wide variety of girls over time, you will undoubtedly run into some women who are completely insane. Some of these women may be the Me Too type, while others may develop an obsession with you and stalk you for years. There's all kinds of things that could happen. And with the stalking, I've had this happen myself, because one of the most attractive women I've dated also turned out to be one of the craziest. And as a side note, that is one of the reasons why you shouldn't get too honed on trying to date the baddest girl on earth or whatever, because you don't know what other traits she has. You could be inviting a pretty headache into your life or a pretty maniac. You just don't know.
That's a fact. Oh, my bad. I pressed the wrong button. That's a fact. Like, there are chicks out there that are insane. Dudes be thinking, oh, well, she's a baddie. I gotta have her. And then that baddie is stalking you, trying to, you know, slash your tires, do all this other extra shit. You understand what I'm saying? Well, let's continue.
And going back to me specifically, a beautiful girl stalked me for years on end and tried some of the most bizarre tactics to get my attention over and over again. Long story short, it was incredibly weird, and you do not want that experience whatsoever. And what makes this worse is that you will have to hurt feelings along the way. And some girls simply just won't take that well, which leads me to my next point. And my next point is that as a player, you will inevitably have to emotionally hurt some women at some point. There's just simply no avoiding this. And I've always aimed to be as ethical as possible when dating. And that's not to be some moral saint that is on his high horse, but to avoid unnecessary drama. And I prefer not to sell women dreams, because you're playing with fire if she feels scorned or burned by you, and each girl's personality is different. Some women will be more emotional than others. However, no matter how careful you are or how honest you are, you will still inevitably piss some women off and break hearts.
See, what he's saying is true. The thing is, though, is that you will hurt less women as far as that if you're honest, though. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you just let them know, hey, look, this is just what it is. We just fucking, and that's that. And she accepts it, then she won't be as hurt. But let's go to 929. 929, what's popping? Who this?
It's Kashawn, 21, New Jersey.
What's up? Did you donate?
Yeah, to the Cash App.
To the Cash App. Hold on, let me double check. I appreciate you. So what's going on, fam?
Yeah, so I'm just calling to ask you if I handled a situation properly at work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I've been listening to you and Miles for a long time, and I know y'all say don't talk to chicks at your job, but this one girl in particular, she was flirting with me like heavy, but she would like always give me bullshit excuses every time I try to set something up, like say I'm not dating right now, or I'm not looking for nothing. So I realized that like she most likely wanted my attention, so I just asked her directly. I tried to make something happen, basically. I asked her directly, and she said no. So then I said, so then I was like, you gave me my answer. The next thing that you say to me is, I changed my mind and I wanted to make something happen. And then she was like, I'm rude, and that was a dick thing to say. So I was just wondering if, like, was I a bit too straightforward, or was her reaction because she wasn't feeling me?
Hold on, I'm confused. What was she talking about? Was a dick thing to say?
I was like I try to make something happen, and I.
So what did you say? What did happen? Hold on. What did you say to her to try to make something happen?
I complimented her. I said, I think you look sexy as hell in those pants, and like I'm trying to like make something happen like that day or in the future. And then that's when she was like, no, I'm just looking for friends. And then I was like, there's nothing else to say. She wanted to keep talking, and I was like, there's nothing else to say. And the next thing out of your mouth is gonna be that I changed my mind. I want to make something happen. And that's when she was like, I was rude, and I was like a very dick thing to say. So I'm asking, like, you think I handled that situation properly?
And this is a girl you work with?
Yeah.
Like she works at your job. She's like a coworker.
Yeah, she's a coworker.
Okay, and so you're telling your coworker that you're trying to fuck?
Yeah, because she was like flirting with me like heavy. I know, like, you and Miles say don't talk to chicks at your job unless they like giving you the signs that they want to make something happen.
No, so the thing that we say is don't talk to women at work. You feel what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is that you guys don't know the signs of a woman wanting to fuck you at work. So, because what signs did she give you that she wanted to fuck you?
Like just complimenting me, like calling me handsome, saying I'm a smooth talker. Like
that's not signs. That's not signs that she wants to fuck you, bro. Did she ever invite you out to a date or get drinks or something after work?
Not every time I asked her to. Every time I try to make something happen, she would like not give me an answer.
No. I said no. Listen to what I said. I said, did she ever try to invite you out?
No.
Okay, so then that's not a sign that she's trying to make it happen. So what happens is that when women at your job are really trying to make it happen, what they'll do is that they will be more aggressive. Most women at your job, when they're just being attention whores, right? They're just going to give you like what she's get. Oh yeah, you're so handsome, you're cool. They're going to talk to you and do all this other extra shit, but they're not really trying to make it happen. So I'll give you an example. When I used to work at this gym, right? And so one of the girls at the gym, right? She, like, we would do the night shift. She would be down the hall. I would be in the middle of the floor, and she would come by to where I'm at, right? And she would come flirt with me. So at first I'm like, all right, she just flirting. She whatever. I ain't even paying no mind. Then what happened is that she would come down to the spot, and then she would say, hey, you know, do you want to like get a drink after work? So I said, yeah, cool. So we go to get a drink after work. And then so we're making out at the bar as we're getting a drink after work, right? So then I gave her my number, and then when I gave her my number, she's texting me naked pictures and shit. That type of shit is where a woman is trying to smash. You see what I'm saying? Her just telling you you're handsome and just talking to you on some regular shit, that's not no sign she's trying to smash. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So just leave that chick alone, and then just keep that shit pushing, bro. Because you don't want to be in a situation where, you know, shit goes down and then she feels some type of way and she feel offended and now she want to go to fucking HR and all that other shit. So you gotta chill on that. You feel what I'm saying?
So if she continuously tries to talk to me and come to where I'm working at in the place, like, will I do? Just ignore her or be cordial?
Yeah, you could just be cordial, but don't really feed into what she's saying. So if she's like, oh, hey, good morning, you're like, oh, good morning. And then you just go do your job. You feel what I'm saying? And if she's like, you know, continuously trying to talk to you, right? You can be cordial with her and be like, hey, listen, I gotta finish this stuff up, but it was good talking to you, and just walk away. That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Lucario.
All right, brother. I appreciate the call, man. All right, so let's go to 239. 239, what's popping? Who this?
Yo, this is Caleb, 20, calling from Boca Raton, Florida, and I sent $5 in the Cash App.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, bro. Got you. So what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, man, I'm calling in because, listen, I have this question. So I approached these two chicks. I approached one, and I got rejected. I approached the second one, and he was like, she said, I just saw you approach that chick. Is that because she's not attracted, or is that because I did it a certain way?
Oh, so the second girl said, "Oh, I just saw you approach the other girl."
Yeah,
because women have egos. So what happens is that, you know, if a woman sees you approach another chick, right, and then you just approach her next, right, then she feels like she's not special. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then so that's why she's acting that way or coming at you that way. But again, this is why you gotta have game, because you should be able to know how to respond to that to you know, do what you gotta do. But a lot of that is just really ego. You feel what I'm saying?
Got it. You got like a bad boy membership program on it?
Well, I mean, all the bad boy membership programs are for you to step up your game. So it's not one thing just for that particular situation. You see what I'm saying? It's about knowing how to communicate and knowing how to have a mouthpiece in order to create situations for shit to go down. Because her asking you about the other girl doesn't necessarily mean she wasn't interested in you. She just felt some type of way because her ego felt some type of way. Just like, for example, there's times where, you know, like me and Miles was in Florida once, right? And we were out at like the bar club area, right? So we approached these two girls, tried to holler at them or whatever, and they was like, oh, you know, acting like they didn't want to talk, and they were like kind of walking away. So literally 2 seconds later, we turned around. It was two other girls that was right behind us. So we started talking to those two girls, and then the first two girls came back and was like, oh my God, y'all just gonna talk to other girls just like that? So they felt some type of way that literally 2 seconds later, we just talked to two new girls. So the first girls felt some type of way because they thought they were special. Do you see what I'm saying? And when they saw us talking to the other girls, they felt some type of way. But the thing is that, you know, that type of situation could happen, but it's really just a chick in her ego. So that second girl you approach, she could have been interested, but it was just her ego talking at the moment. You feel what I'm saying? And then what you can do is that you can continue to have a conversation to still see if she's actually interested in trying to make something happen. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. All right, man. Appreciate the call, brother. All right. So, guys, call in. Calling number is 646-481-3901. 646-481-3901 is the number. All right. So, let's get back to this real quick. Let's keep this going. All right.
Just comes with the territory when playing the game, if that is your goal lifestyle. And when dealing with women who are just more emotional by nature to start with, attachments will form, especially when sex occurs. And I don't care how tough or casual some girl acts about her sexual liberation and freedom or whatever, they all get attached to some degree when you give them a good sexual experience.
I gotta hit him with the thing for that though. I gotta hit him with the thing. So this is the mistake a lot of guys make. Good sexual experiences don't get women attached. I'm gonna say it again. Good sexual experiences or sexual experiences, period, do not get women attached. They are attached to the guy that is giving them the sexual experience, which means they just like that particular guy. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of times what happens is that they're attached or they like that guy because that guy is doing more than just fucking. Do you understand? So, for example, if I meet a girl, right? Let's say there's girl A and girl B. I meet girl A and I say, hey, girl A, listen, we should get together and hook up. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun. Let's just get together and have some fun, right? And all I want to do is hook up. I'm not trying to date you. I'm not trying to take it serious. We will just keep this casual. So I get with girl A, I hook up with her, and then I, call her maybe a week later. And then she comes over, we have sex again. And then I call up her maybe 2 weeks later, we have sex. And all we do is she comes over, we have sex, she leaves. She comes over, we have sex, she leaves. She comes over again, we have sex, and then she leaves, right? Girl A is not going to get attached. Why? Because all she's doing is coming over, having sex, and leaving, and she knows this under the premise of this is all we're doing. You understand? Now, let's say I talk to girl B, and I say, hey, girl B, we should get together and hang out sometime. She says, okay, cool, that sounds good. And then I go and take girl B out to get drinks. And I'm flirting with girl B. She's loving it. She's loving the interaction. Everything is all good, right? Then what happens is I take girl B to my crib and we have sex. And then after we have sex, we're cuddling. And then we get in the shower and then she leaves. And then I text her throughout the week and I say, hey, girl B, come back over. Let's have some fun. Then girl B comes over. And then she comes over and she's like, hey, I'm on my way to your house. Can I pick up some food? And I say, yeah, come pick up some food. And she picks up some food. She comes over and we're hanging out and we're eating and we're laughing and then we fuck. Right now, girl B is going to get attached because I'm doing more than just fucking. So it's not just the dick I'm giving her. It's the non-sexual attention I'm giving her that's making her get attached. That's what guys don't understand. But let's get to 412. 412 was popping. Who's this?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Carl? It's AT calling.
AT, what's going on with your fam?
All right. I definitely donated, of course.
That's what's up. Appreciate it, bro.
It sounds like what you were describing, that last thing he talked about, is exactly what I've called you up many times where I've fucked up because I've gone on dates, they stayed over,
right.
We hang out, we talk, and then they end up liking me, catching feelings, and it's not just because of the sex.
Right.
It's the sex and what's attached to it. Then it becomes a whole drama fest because they're like, I wanted it to be one thing, but I screwed up.
Right.
And gave them more, and now it's a whole fiasco.
Exactly. Exactly. And see, that's the thing, is that a lot of guys think it's the sex. It's like, no, you're having sex, but you're also doing all this other shit. And then the guys be like, man, these chicks be getting attached when they have all this sex, or, you know, or a woman be like, I get emotionally attached with sex. No, it's not the sex. Is that the nigga's giving you extra shit. He's making you see, or making you feel as if this is more than just sex. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But, you know, I definitely saw the title of the show, and I was just like, man, that has literally been what's going on, the pros and cons for this last 9+ years after the divorce, for everything that you spoke on, and a guy that did a video of, like you said, just the pros of it getting, you know, better with women seeing things coming, because where I've called him before and told you I've kept statistics on it, and you're able to see what's coming down the pipe. Okay, who's going to waste your time? Who just wants to be a foodie date? Who's going to ghost? Who's going to stand you up? All this stuff.
Right.
And because a lot of it I've been able to learn and through trial and error and from yourself and others is to, one, like you said, if you're on a dating app, get off of there quickly. The ones that want to keep talking more, you know, they're not interested.
Right.
Or if you get off of there and get their number and then you immediately set up date and they give you that, I'm not sure, I don't know, let me see, let me check my schedule. And as you always say, if it's not a yes, it's a no. And just how I can circumvent all these years, you know, time wasters are people that just have no intention.
Right.
And, or if you ask them out, okay, when are you free to meet? And then they just don't answer you back. Or 2 days later, they text you, oh, sorry, I was so busy. They weren't that busy for 48 hours.
Exactly. Right.
You know, all that. So I definitely have learned the pros and cons, still learning the pros and cons of being out there.
No, that's the thing. And see, the thing is that, you know, you got to actually experience these things to understand it. So a lot of guys on the internet, they watch shit, but they don't go out. They hear stuff, but they don't experience. And so you really have to experience this to know this. So the thing is that, you know, the stuff he's saying in his video, right? The reason why he has this information is because he's out there going and experiencing those things. And this is why you can resonate with it. And I can resonate with it because I'm like, yeah, I understand those things. I see those things. I see those things happening. Now, the thing is, though, is that, you know, the tighter your game is, right? And this is something that a lot of you guys will start to understand and recognize, right? The tighter your game is, the simpler things start to reveal itself to you. This is why even with this particular situation where guys, see, you have a guy who thinks, oh, well, women get attached to sex. No, it's not. It's not that they get attached to sex. When you break it down, the attachment comes from what she can't actually get easily, which is the non-sexual situation. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, and also because it's the non-sexual thing, because there's more investment in non-sexual situations, right? But you start to learn that the more you do things, because this is the thing. If you're fucking enough women, you're going to notice there's women you have sex with one time and you will never hear from her again. So if it's the sex that's making them, you know what I'm saying, get attached, why is it you can have sex with this woman one time and never hear from her again? And even if you reach out, you won't hear from her again. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is that a woman can just have sex with you and keep it pushing heavy, or she'll have sex with you a few times and keep it pushing. But what'll keep certain women around is the possibility of a longer term situation, the possibility of more situations outside of sex. So now what happens is that if you're fucking a girl, but then you're adding non-sexual things, and then all of a sudden you say, hey, let me fall back, or hey, let's just come over to fuck, then that's what happens, where she gets attached and gets emotional, because she's like, wait a second, why? How come, you know, we can't do the other thing we did last time? Last time we were cuddling, and last time we did this, and last time we did that, and now you just want me to come over and suck your dick. And 7769, put yourself on mute. I'm gonna get to you next. So what happens is that she gets attached because of all the other things, not just because of the sex. A woman could fuck a dude for years and it just be fucking and she not get attached. because he sets up the premise that we're just fucking, and all he does is just have sex with her. So she understands that. She has the understanding. She's like, me and Brian, we just fuck. That's what she's saying. And she's like, and she realizes this because every time she meets Brian, they just fuck, and that's that. Brian don't give her nothing else outside of dick. So now she knows, okay, I don't have to worry about Brian because I understand when it comes to me and Brian, we're just fucking. So I'm not going to ask Brian, oh, how come we can't do this and how come we can't do that? Because Brian already told me what it was. And Brian is being consistent with what he told me what it was. So therefore, I'm not going to bring any drama to Brian because there's no point. And I don't feel these extra crazy feelings because Brian has set my expectation. The problem is a lot of guys, what they do is they'll fuck and they just want to fuck mainly. But then they're giving women extra stuff outside of fucking, which is giving her hope. And that's what she gets attached to, is the hope of something more, not just the sex. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So I just got two quick questions because I know you got other callers. One is, this year alone, and this has never happened before, I've had 6 women from past various years, 2018, 19, 20, get in touch with me, that some I haven't talked to in like 4 years, 5 years, to hit me up, to, of course, like, hey, stranger, how you been, all that nonsense, and then want to, hang out. And most of them have got straight to the point, like, hey, I want to fuck again. But they also are hoping that I've changed my mind about non-monogamy. So they'll still hook up, but then it's like, so are you still on that, or have you changed, or are you thinking about relationships? And when I tell them no, it's like they'll stick around for a little while, and then slowly they've all faded off. But I'm just curious as your thoughts are like, I've never had that many in 1 year come back at once. I've had 1 or 2, every year come back, but like this is just an odd year where it's like 6.
Well, you know what it is? This is what happens. So, see, when you have game, right, you are looked at as way more attractive and valuable than other guys. So now what happens is that, and this is the ironic part, those women want you, but they want you to be with just them. But they don't even realize the reason why they want you so bad is because you won't be with just them. Right now, right. So now what happens is that they go out into the wilderness and they fuck with all these other knuckleheads who ain't got game, and they're like, fuck, all these guys suck, but AT is awesome. But maybe I should call AT. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's ready to settle down now. And then they come back to you and they're like, oh man, I really like AT, but he's still not, he's still not ready to settle down. So then it trickles off again. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that, unfortunately, these women, the reason why they're coming back is because they're always going to come back to what was the most attractive situation. The problem is that they can't keep you to their self. You understand? And so what happens is that it's like they're so attracted to you because you are who you are, right? But the funny part is that they want to keep you to themselves. But the reason why they're so attracted to you is because they can't keep you to themselves. And they can't get you to switch up who you are and what you're about for them. Because even if you were to be monogamous, right? That would be you choosing that on your own terms because that's what you want to do. And then what will happen is that they'll come back to you and they'll be like, oh, yay, AT's monogamous now, so maybe he'll be with me. And then they still probably wouldn't want to, or they still won't be able to get with you because now, even though you're monogamous, there are certain stipulations that may need to be in place for them to even be qualified to be a girl, which they're not even able to do because they don't have enough game to even get to that point. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is that those women are always, they're going to come back because they've went out into the wilderness. There was nothing there for them. They realized that, all these dudes out here is knuckleheads. And they're like, damn, the only guy that really had it going on was AT. So I have to come back. This is what always happens. This is why I tell guys, listen, guys who have game, we want women to go. We're like, yeah, go ahead. We already know what it is. You're going to come back and maybe I'll take you back. Maybe. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we know there ain't nothing out there for them. You see what I'm saying? This is why, see, guys who don't have game think women have options. Guys who have game know women ain't got no fucking options. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell you guys, you are the opportunity. You understand? You are the guy. This is why women are not the gatekeepers of sex. You understand? It's crazy.
Right. It reminds me of the line Thanos said in Endgame, you could not live with your own failure. Where does that bring you? Back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a fact.
You know, for the women, it reminds me of that.
Right. That's what it is. And so anytime these women come back to you, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the second one, and then I'll jump off, is that. So dealing with one of those women that came back, you know, hanging out, hooking up and all that kind of stuff. And I had been straightforward with her, you know, like looking for a relationship, and I didn't see one with her. You know, I was honest, and she was okay with it, but then she met somebody else and kind of tried to throw that in my face, like, well, you know, I'm dating and I met somebody else. I'm like, great. I hope it works for you. But now, you know, she texted me a few times like, I caught feelings for you. I didn't want to, but I want to work it out with him. I don't know what to do. I just said, hey, go see how that works. If it doesn't, hit me up. But, you know, she still wants to text. So I had to tell her, like, look, go work that out. You know, do not hit me up unless that situation is resolved.
Right.
Is that the best way to handle it, or is that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, tell her to go do her thing. And listen, be like, listen, you know, hit me up, and if I'm available, then we could get it cracking.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's really all it is. Because again, you got to give women the freedom. You got to give them free will. You got to let them go and do what they got to do. Because see, that's part of, and this is the funny part. It's you actually guiding her and teaching her by letting her go. Because you got to let her go through the nonsense to recognize what's going on. See, this is the thing. Because what she would need to do is this is when she would basically have reached enlightenment, right? This is when she would have really, really been on point. She would have went with the other guy, and let's say it didn't work out with him. What she would do now is she would come back to you and say, you know, AT, I am ready to submit, meaning I'm ready to do it your way. Because in order for me to have you, I have to do it your way because you're not going to change for me. So in order for me to be here, I have to do it your way. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's her acknowledging that, hey, I might have to share you. And so that, but see, when a woman doesn't recognize that, she's just going to keep bumping her head. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why, shout out to K-Zag, he says, this is why they have to share us. She has to understand in order to get you, right? Because the women have to get you. In order to get you, she has to go with your program. This is what your program is. The only way she's going to get access to you fully is to be a part of your program, which means she has to submit, which means she has to accept. And that's the problem with a lot of women. A lot of women, the reason why they're not able to get what they want is because they have not gotten to the point where they can accept. This, like, for example, it's like when people talk about happiness, you know why most people aren't happy? Most people are not happy because they have not accepted the fact that nothing can make them happy. So they can't get happiness through things and objects and materialism and all that other shit. Once they accept that no thing will make them happy, that's when they'll be happy. Once she accepts that you are not going to change for her, that's when she'll be able to get you. You see how that works? But until she doesn't accept it, the more she doesn't accept it, she's not gonna get it, and then she's gonna keep going in the same fucking circle over and over again.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I remember you mentioned that before. So yeah, I definitely, man. But I appreciate the time, information, and
yes, sir.
This just spoke to me because it's been right up my alley for all these years, and I've seen the pros and cons and everything you were talking about.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Appreciate the call, man. All right, I'm gonna holler at you, man. Peace out. Okay, so let's go to 769. 769. What's popping? Who this?
This is Eterius, 25, Mississippi.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the donation. What's going on, fam?
I have a question dealing with. Okay, I've been talking to women like you guys end up saying like 25 a day. I'm pretty sure I've been going through more than 25 a day.
Uh-huh.
But my thing is, I'm having fun through the conversation, getting numbers, but as far as end up making shit happen, it seems to end up like being floppy.
So what you said, it ended up being what?
Floppy, such as.
What do you mean by sloppy?
I can't end up. Basically, when I end up telling them let's do this, they don't want to. Like, I don't end up getting a response.
So that's sloppy. How is that sloppy?
I thought it was sloppy.
No, you meet a woman, you get her information, or you give her your information, you set something up, and then you said you don't get her. Like you hit her up and say, "Hey, let's." What do you say when you're trying to set something up? What do you say?
I say, "Hey, let's hang out, me and you." Then I end up telling them the spot that I won't end up going to, and some end up saying that I want to, other ones end up saying. Hold on.
So you text them and you say, "Hey, let's meet up on Friday at 6:00 at this spot." You tell them just like that.
Yeah, like at different spots. Sometimes I end up telling others like hotels. Other ones I end up saying go to the bar, drink.
Okay, and then you said what happened? The response is she don't respond to you, or the women aren't responding to you.
Basically.
Okay, and how many women have you done this with so far?
5 to 6. Wait, do more?
So wait, so you worried about 5 or 6 women you hit up to make something happen with, and you worried about the fact that they didn't respond?
Yeah.
Bro, that's part of the game, my nigga. Listen, you might talk to 10, 15 girls and they not gonna respond, or they gonna respond and say some dumb shit, or they gonna agree to go and flake. That's part of the game, my nigga. Welcome to the game. Well, let me give you a hand clap. Welcome to the motherfucking game, nigga. Listen, it's a numbers game, buddy. So what happens is that if you telling me out of how long did it take for you to get these 5 girls' numbers?
How long?
Yeah, like how were you out talking to a bunch of girls? Like, did you get them all in 1 week? Like, how long did it take you?
It just took me like all in 1 week. No, all in 1 day, really.
So all in 1 day, you was able to get 6 girls' information.
Oh, I got more than 6, but those are the ones I end up like setting up plans for.
Okay, so why didn't you hit up the other ones?
No, I did hit up the other ones, but they didn't respond.
Okay, so you said 6 responded.
Yeah.
So what did they say when they responded then? What did they say?
Some of them didn't respond directly to what I was saying. So go in your phone and read me a message that you sent to a girl, and what was her response? Like, go and read me word for word. Okay.
I want to hear how some of this shit sound. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, y'all be saying y'all say the shit, but y'all don't be saying the shit. So I want to hear word. Don't add no words. Don't say nothing else different. I want to hear it word for word. Just show me one example.
Okay. It says right here. I had said, but me and you could go out for drinks this weekend. Then we can see what the night takes us. She had told me.
Wait. No, start at the beginning.
Oh, the very beginning?
Yeah, the very beginning. First thing that was said.
No, she had texted me her name.
Okay, so she texted you your name. That was when y'all was in front of each other and first exchanging numbers?
Yeah. Okay,
now, so she texted you her name. You sent her a message after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, read the message after she texted you your name. Her name.
I said, indeed, locked in. Make sure you do the same. By the way, my name is Eterius.
Okay. And now what's the next message after that?
She said, I saved you. Nice to meet you. Are you from Vicksburg?
Okay. And what's the next message after that?
Yes, I've been here most of my life. I will travel to other states one day, though. What about you?
Okay. So now that right there. Okay. So you see, you're getting into a whole conversation, but I want to hear what's the next thing she said after you said, what about you?
She said, yes, I am cool. How old are you?
Oh, Lord. Okay. What was the next message after that?
I said, I'm 25. Then I had asked, what is your age?
Oh, my God. Okay. Then what did she say?
I'm 30, love.
She said love. Okay. And so what did you say after that?
I said, you look edible for 30. I would never have thought, and your accent makes it seem like you're not from here.
Okay. And what was the next message after that?
Edible, meaning I'm taking a good turn. Thank you. I've accent, LOL. I would have never thought. I thought it was country.
Okay, and what did you say after that?
Edible, as in appealing to the five of my six senses, and I have an accent, element. Yo, I say more of a lazy. Don't pronounce the word as a whole.
Wait, so your phone sound like it's muffled. So what? Say that part again.
I said edible as in appealing to the five of my six senses, and I've an accent such as, and I'm making fun of the way she ended up texting. I say more of a lazy speech. Don't pronounce the word as a whole. Okay, and what
was her response?
Yeah, you won. Don't sound like you from Mississippi. You any kids?
Okay, and what did you say to her when she asked when you have any kids?
Yeah, I got a little girl.
That's what you said to her?
Yeah.
Okay, now this, I want you to notice how much back and forth is going on here. Right? This whole time you didn't set up no type of date, nothing. You just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right? So now fast forward to the part where you try to set something up with this woman.
Okay.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, stay on hold. We'll get to you in a second. 76.
No, y'all. Yeah.
202. Chill out. We're gonna get to you in a second. So 769. 769.
This is Austin, Texas calling, bro.
Oh my God, this nigga.
This is Matt, dude. What's up?
This nigga. So 769. You still there?
Talking? Is this Lucario? Am I on Lucario? Dude, my boy Jason. Dude, your podcast is awesome, bro.
Hold on, bro. Chill. I'm only talking. Is Eterius still on the line?
I'm feeling like a fucking cucumber. What the fuck should I be doing?
Hold on. Which number is your number? I gotta get you out of here. Hold on. Eterius, you 769?
Yeah, I'm 769.
Okay. So caller, chill out. I'm still talking to Eterius. Now, Eterius.
Yeah.
Tell us the part where you set up the date.
I had said, but me and you can go out for drinks this weekend, then see where the night takes us.
Okay, and what did she say?
She said, I thought I had replied back to you earlier. Sorry, I just woke back up. How you say, but me and you can go out drinks for weekends, we can.
But she said, wait, said it again? She said, how you said what?
She said, how you say, but me and you can go out for drinks this weekend. We can.
Okay, so she said we could go out for drinks. Is that what she said? Because I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
Text. Okay, and then what did you say? And then what did you say?
Buy her some drinks, dog.
Okay, I gotta get rid of it.
Buy her some drinks and fucking smooth.
Okay, I have to get rid of him. Sorry, 202 call 202 call back. My bad. I'm sorry, 202. My bad, 202. I thought he was 202. I had to get rid of him. My bad, 202. So we'll get to you next. So now what was your response after that?
I gave her the location and told her wear something form fitting.
Okay, and then what was her response to that?
She said, "What you mean form fitting?"
And what'd you say?
I said, "Clothes that bring out your body, nothing too loose but comfortable."
And what was her response?
She said, "LOL, talking about a form fitting, LOL." But nah, she said, "My body not even all that, but I got you." Okay,
and then so on the day of the date, did you hit her up and say, "Hey, we still on?" Like, what was going on after this?
Oh no, I had it up this weekend.
Okay, so what are you talking about? So this is for this weekend. When you supposed to see her?
On Saturday 8.
Okay, so then why you said you spoke to a bunch of girls and shit ain't pop off? What you supposed to see this girl tomorrow, right?
On Saturday, not tomorrow. No,
yeah, tomorrow Saturday, right? Well, tomorrow's Friday now because it's Friday because it's noon. But anyway, I mean it's midnight. But anyway, but what I'm saying is, you said I talked to all these girls. Shit was sloppy because none of them are returning my texts, and you just showed us a text of a girl returning all your texts. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm saying I want to end up having more success than just one.
Eterius, why you? So, if you want to have more success than just one, what do you think you need to do?
I got to put in more reps.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's real. Come on, Eterius, you know what's going on, man. I got to get to the rest of these calls, man. Eterius, stop playing. You know what it is. Talk to more women, and this is what you got to do. Stop going back and forth with these chicks all day. Just hit them up, set up the time, place, date, and call it a day. All this back and forth, you don't need to do all that shit, all right?
I got you.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, brother. All right, so let's go to 202. 202 was popping. Who this?
Oh, hey, this is Stefan, age 30, Silver Spring, Maryland.
What's up? Did you donate?
Yeah, I donated to you.
Okay, I got you. Appreciate it. So what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, for sure. No, so I'm just like noticing, like, I've called in a handful of times, but just going through dating, meeting different women, making stuff happen, noticing that I'm having kind of more, setting up more of a roster. But it just feels as though, and I'm getting to a point where I'm really questioning the whole, I guess, concept and framework of monogamy more and more. But at the same time, I feel like the emotional, like prior to dating as heavy, I felt like a lot more emotional investment. I'm noticing I'm just getting far and further removed from that. Is that something normal for you? Is that something you went through? Like, how do you mediate just actually enjoying the process of connecting, but at the same time still removing the ego from the framework?
So you're saying that you're feeling saying you're not feeling emotional, like you're not feeling like connected to the chicks. Is that what you're saying?
Essentially, yeah. Like, I'm not seeing anyone where I'm like, man, this connection would be a vibe where I could see it being like a monogamous situation. I'm just getting more to the point, like, of just questioning the whole point of monogamy in itself.
Well, that's the thing. It's not that. Okay, so it's just that you haven't found somebody that you like being with, or that you're attracted to like that. Because it's not about. Because this is the thing. Because by you saying it that way, what you're saying is that, well, the only reason to be non-monogamous is because you haven't found anybody to be monogamous with. You see what I'm saying? And that's not what it's about. What it's about is that you should want, if you're feeling like, you know, you gravitate to non-monogamy, that means that you don't want to be monogamous and you like being non-monogamous because that's something that you desire. Right now, if you just haven't met women that you are excited about or you're interested in, that's a whole nother conversation. So what would need to happen is that you probably just need to find more women that you're like really interested in. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Because I mean, and I guess my other thing is, I mean, you've spoken on this before, but say you find someone and you're like, man, like I'm really fucking with her. How can you mediate the concept of this is someone that I want to be with because I'm trying to keep her from fucking other dudes versus this is just someone I want to be with? Because I question, like, if I'm like, oh, I'm really fucking with her, what would be the concept of having the sexual monogamy with her? You know, I feel like part of it would have to be.
But hold on. You know. So are you thinking about getting with her to keep her away from other dudes?
It feels like if you go to like I'm someone that I really fuck with.
You gotta protect her.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta get rid of this nigga.
You gotta.
Okay, so go ahead, say it again.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, essentially, this feels as though if you really find someone that you fuck with heavily, going in, like, if you're like, oh, I just want to be with her. Are you just being with her? Like, I feel like I would just second guess, am I just being with her to keep her from being with other people? Or do I just want to be with her and then, you know, allow her to do her thing on the side if she needs to do her thing on the side?
Well, this is the thing. I mean? Well, this is the thing. What makes you say you want to just be with her?
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like I haven't met anyone where I feel that with, but I feel like if I were to feel that, it would have to do with me just enjoying her company, enjoying her space, enjoying being sexual with her, and just feeling like this is someone I could possibly have growth with as an individual. You know, but then me getting into a monogamous situation feels as though it would be like, let me keep her from being around other people. And that's something I'm trying to keep myself, the mindset. I'm trying to keep myself away from that mindset.
Right. Well, if that's the mindset, then that's about being insecure and jealous versus actually wanting to be with the woman. You see what I'm saying? So, and you know, y'all being together. So the thing is, you have to make sure that, you know, you have to be in tune with how you feel about a certain thing. Because if you're saying, oh, well, you know, I like her and I should wife her up quick so nobody else fucks her, then that's insecurity. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's insecurity.
Right.
Exactly.
But if you're like, hey, I like this girl, you know, we're continuing to see each other and, you know, I want us to be in a relationship at some point, then that's one thing. But that shouldn't have anything to do with any other guys. Because while you're dating her, she could be fucking other guys because y'all are not together.
So are you saying that essentially if I meet someone that I fuck with that much, naturally my generalized interest will just gravitate to her, so it's not something I have to think about?
Yeah, because you'll just like her enough to want to take the relationship forward. But what I'm saying is that
and just be in her space more, have time with her more. Okay.
Right. But what I'm saying is that if you're thinking about, well, you know, somebody else fucking her, what I'm saying is somebody else could be having sex with her while you're doing that thing anyway, because y'all are not together. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is to try to get with her to not let a nigga fuck her is crazy, because a dude could be fucking her now while you're dating. So it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's just one of the things where I guess I'm just trying to figure out, you know, my level of awareness, right? Like, I've met some girls where it's like, okay, it's cool, it's a vibe, but I still haven't met anyone where I'm like, damn, I don't want other women at the same time while I'm dealing with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that maybe you're not monogamous. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So what I'm saying is this, right? So the thing is this, the issue is that you're making how you do a relationship or your relationship style based on the woman. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, I'm not non-monogamous because of a woman, right? I'm non-monogamous because that's how I like to do things. That's how I like to roll. So it comes back to how I like to do things. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying, man, you know, I'm non-monogamous because, I really like this girl and I really like that girl and I want them both. So that's why I'm non-monogamous. No, I'm non-monogamous because I, right, like to engage in different relationships with women. But it's not to any particular woman. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not like I found, this woman is super special and this other woman is special, so I want no, it's like this is just what I want to do, period. And so what I'm saying is that if you're monogamous, it should be, I'm monogamous because of this about me, not them. So what you're saying is, if I found this really cool girl and I just want to be with her, you're making it about the woman. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
No, I appreciate that. So I mean, that might just be the case because every time I'm like, shoot, I haven't met anyone that I would be monogamous with. But then when you phrase it that way, it's like, okay, now it's like being rooted in the woman instead of myself.
Exactly. So you have to figure out your shit and your reasons that don't have anything to do with any particular woman. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you're making that, then what you're doing is making your decisions based on her specifically. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I know it's frustrating because I'm sure you say the same stuff, but it's like me calling in kind of really just consolidates that mindset. I appreciate you just taking the time to break it down.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. I appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Appreciate it. All right. So let me kill the phone lines real quick. Let me answer some of these questions. Hold on, let me do some more of this video because the videos I want to get a little bit more because there's certain things he says that I want to address. But let's continue.
And any woman who says otherwise is lying. And any guy who says that you can live the player life without having to hurt any girl's feelings or play them at times is also lying.
No, you can have the player lifestyle and not hurt women's feelings. The thing is, you can't really control how a woman's going to feel, right? So there are times where you let a woman know what it is and she just feels how she feels. But generally speaking, you can still deal with women and it'll be cool and you're not hurting her feelings because you're honest and she knows what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, hold on. My food is here. Okay, guys, give me two minutes. I'm gonna play this song and I'm gonna be right back because I gotta go pick up my food downstairs. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Yo. I've been that nigga since way back. You ain't that nigga, don't say that. I've been that nigga since way back. You just cap nigga, I state facts. I've been doing this since back then. Niggas be rapping, but I be painting these pictures, I'm not just yapping. My life's a movie, but I'm not doing no acting. I keep it real if you really about that action. You could call me Mr. Smith, I'm about to slap him. This nigga don't know the half, call me a fraction. This nigga don't know the math, I will subtract him. Every track I've ever done, I was just subtracting. It's to hear the blackest nigga, but you're a Klansman. You're a hater and you hater because you have men that you fucking with, they hitting you on the back end. See what had happened? You was that nigga since way back. You threw it way back. See, I don't play that. Nigga, just do you. Just be the true you. I'ma just do me. I always say that. That's real talk. Always knew from way back that I gotta do me. And I mean, what else could I? All right, I'm back. Let's make it happen. All right. So let's get into this. Hold on.
Even with the most authentic approach, you'll be faced with scenarios where you have to ride the edge of lying to get that girl into bed. Like when a girl asks if you want a relationship and you don't really want one, but you
see. Okay, let me back this up real quick because he said something interesting, and this is what I said. Remember when he was talking about a woman getting attached through sex and so forth and so on. I want you to pay attention to what he said real quick here.
Or whatever, they all get attached to some degree when you give them a good sexual experience. And any woman who says otherwise is lying. And any guy who says that you can live the player life without having to hurt any girl's feelings or play them at times is also lying. Even with the most authentic approach, you'll be faced with scenarios where you have to ride the edge of lying to get that girl into bed.
So he said, you have to ride the edge of lying to get that girl into bed. I totally disagree. I gotta hit him with a button. Right now, look at what he says next. And this is very significant. This is what he says next.
Like when a girl asks if you want a relationship and you don't really want one, but you still want to sleep with her. This is a common scenario that a lot of guys face when they're trying to live this type of lifestyle.
So he said, like when a woman asks you, do you want a relationship, but you just want to sleep with her? Remember what I said. When you're just hooking up with a woman and you let her know we're just fucking and your actions dictate that you're just fucking, right? Then what happens is that she understands that it's just fucking. But why would a woman ask you or say, hey, I want a relationship? You know why? Because if you're fucking her, but you're also having dinner with her, you're also cuddling with her, you're also doing boyfriendy shit, that's when she's going to ask you for the relationship. And also remember, he said you got to toe the edge of lying. You see what I'm saying? Because what happens is a lot of guys don't know how to just keep it sex. They have sex and then they do extra shit. Like if you just want to fuck, really, you're supposed to be emotionally unavailable. So it's come through, we have sex, you go home. Come through next week, we have sex, you go home. Come through the next week, we have sex, then you go home. That is it. But let's continue.
And again, there's no avoiding this. So understand the game that you are playing if you want to go down that path, because it's definitely not for everyone, and that's fine. I would never recommend it for everyone. Now, this next one is going to sound a bit weird because of the image we usually have in our mind of what a player is like. It's usually this image of being a stoic, smooth, badass type of dude who isn't affected by any girl and just turns them out left and right. But if you actively take part in this type of lifestyle, you will almost always have to hurt yourself at some point. And what I mean is that you will come across certain girls who hit that near ideal combination of beauty and personality to where you'll find yourself wanting to see that girl more than the others. But in order to keep that lifestyle going, you'll have to let them go at some point, just off the fact that most girls want relationships, especially if they're into you like that to keep coming back. Now, of course, some girls are...
And see, the thing is, yeah, you're going to have to let the girl go in certain situations. And because she's going to meet a guy who wants that relationship, you understand? And because you're not going to give it to her, she's going to go to the guy who's going to give her the relationship. But like I said, but just like with AT called in, a lot of times what happens, she'll go have that relationship with the simp and then she'll come crawling back. And that's just what it is. But let's continue.
Fine just keeping it casual and dipping, but you'll come across girls that you really click with on a different level, and you'll have to choose between keeping her around for something more or letting her go and continuing what you're doing. And that sucks more than you think, because you're denying yourself something that you want for the bigger picture. And some guys might say, well, just get that girl and have girls on the side, or have that one-sided open relationship type of dynamic. But keep in mind that most girls aren't going to be down for knowingly engaging in a situation like that and investing fully into it. But this is an underrated issue and challenge with that type of lifestyle that isn't talked about much, and most guys won't be able to do this repeatedly. Most guys will end up committing to that girl that comes along, and that's fine, because I'd say that's a normal thing to do, right? But
see, the thing is this: if you a player, right, and you end up committing to that girl, you ain't no player. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just not. You were just a guy fucking with chicks until you found the chick you wanted to stick with. But let's continue.
If you really want to run the numbers up, at some point you'll have to cut girls off that you really like, and that is not going to be a fun process for you, trust me. The alternative is to string them along and sell them dreams, but you're also asking for a lot of drama that way. So for me personally, it's not my thing. Now, the fifth one is pregnancy and STD scares. And it doesn't matter if most of the women you are sleeping with are on birth control or not, you will eventually come across a girl who either lies about it or simply isn't on birth control, and you'll want to smash anyway. And if you are a guy who uses protection every time, which you should be, you will eventually encounter scenarios where you either don't have one on you or you figure it'll be fine and you'll just roll the dice anyway.
And see, when dudes do that stupid shit, right? See, again, this whole thing about pregnancy scares and all that other stuff, a lot of times that happens, like Rekka was doing, talking about smashing a chick raw, just being like, fuck it. And that's that. But that's not necessarily a con of being a player. That's just, that's just you being stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the STD thing, you see, the thing is that with that type of stuff, you have certain STDs where you could just, pop you can get some medication and that shit'll go away. Some of them don't go away. But a lot of times what will happen is that, if you are extremely responsible and discerning about what you're doing, a lot of times most of those things aren't going to be necessarily a thing that's going to make you feel some type of a thing that's going to be an issue. Hold on, we got somebody else that's calling up, even though I hit the phone lines off. Let me see if I can get him on here real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. 512. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's going on? Who's this?
This is Jay, Austin, Texas.
Jay, did you donate though?
I have not. I'll do it, Mr. Carr. I just want to say I apologize to a friend trying to
Jay, why, Jay? You gotta donate and call back, brother. Donate and call back. Appreciate you, man. See, I already done. Let the phone line down. I put it on the phone, the speaker. You guys know what it is, man. All right. So let's continue.
Either way, a successful player lifestyle inevitably leads to buying some morning after pills at some point. You will never be 100% perfect, and you will have some scares along the way. Or even worse, you will knock up a girl who you didn't want to in the first place. Just look around. It happens every day to guys. And the odds of you getting an STD at least once are also extremely high. You just better hope it's something mild that can be cured in 2 weeks of antibiotics rather than something that sticks with you for a lifetime.
Yeah, you better hope it's it's chlamydia or some shit, but let's continue.
Now, the sixth con is that you will become jaded to some degree. One of the downsides of gaining an immense amount of experience is the propensity to become jaded because of the good and the bad that you see. You will meet great girls along the way, but you will also come across the worst of the worst as well. You will discover girls cheating on their husbands or boyfriends with you, if you didn't already know that. Damn heathen. And you will also see things like girls calling you over to sleep with them after their date just left for the night. And if you're in nightlife environments, it'll be even worse, trust me. Working in nightlife is enough to make anyone jaded, but you can't gain a large amount of experience without seeing both the good and the bad. And it will be difficult to set the bad aside without becoming jaded yourself, at least to some degree, when you see how sex and attraction with women truly works firsthand.
I think what happens is a lot of certain types of guys who become jaded are usually the guys who feel like, oh man, I can't trust women anymore because I wanted to have a wife and kids. But now that I've been a player, I've seen all the crazy things women do and I don't want to, so it's usually guys like that be jaded. Because listen, I have not become jaded at all. You understand? I've just become aware and I understand how things are. This is why all these guys that worried about body counts, I'm like, nigga, why are you worried about body counts? Chicks is out here fucking. You understand what I'm saying? Why are you worried about holding on to a chick? A chick is either going to want to stay or she gonna go. Like, why? You see what I'm saying? So like the jaded, a lot of that jaded energy comes from you having unrealistic expectations or you finding out something that goes against the fantasy that you had at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Now, the seventh one is an addiction to validation, because in my opinion, the two most powerful drugs on earth are women and power. And a successful player lifestyle combines both of those. You will feel like a god at times with how many attractive women are pining for your attention and boosting your ego, which can lead to a dependency on validation that leaves you feeling empty and lost if you happen to go through a dry spell.
Exactly. And that's what I was talking about earlier. That's why I said you should not be deriving your confidence or trying to get validation through these things. This is why we tell you guys that the game is not about women, because when you make it about women, you start to, on a subconscious level, think, oh, well, I need women, or women have to be here, or things need to happen with women in order for me to be okay, in order for me to be right, in order for me to feel like I'm somebody. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you don't go down that path.
This is what I was referring to earlier when I said it will build a lot of confidence in you, but there's also a downside. Sometimes guys aren't actually building true confidence. They're just getting results which boost their confidence on a superficial level, but their core identity and self-esteem is still weak.
Exactly. And that's what we was talking about earlier. Because, you know, he mentioned it. He's like, look, you know, before he's talking about, these things to give you that boost of confidence. But at the same time, if you're attaching your confidence to that, then you're inevitably going to feel insecure and weak and fucked up, because what happens is that it's inevitable that you're going to go through the ups and downs, so-called of the situation, meaning you're going to have those dry spells. So when you have those dry spells, you're going to be like, fuck. You understand? You're going to feel like shit. But let's continue.
Which is exposed with a dry spell, or when they run into a series of girls that reject them, which will happen because it's not possible to hit home runs every single day. But ultimately, you are what you practice. And by practicing having tons of women around at all times, you will start to become dependent on it or addicted to the high, which can actually inflame needy behavior in certain ways or leave you relying too much on external validation if you aren't careful.
See, he's talking about Rekka.
And honestly, I'd say most guys won't be able to avoid this entirely because it's acting on biology in your brain with the hits of dopamine, serotonin, and all the other chemicals that are involved. Remember that too much of anything is bad, and it applies here too. Now, the next con is that it will be hard to be in a relationship. If the majority of your time with this kind of lifestyle is spent having fun and a positive experience overall, you will have a very hard time transitioning to a typical monogamous long-term relationship later on. The only exception to this is if you reached 100% total true burnout to where you are absolutely sick of the lifestyle and dating. Otherwise, if you enter into a relationship prematurely, or you're simply so conditioned to the lifestyle from years of doing it, you will face challenges with getting bored easily with one girl, wanting more variety, or having difficulty even starting a relationship.
So what happens is that, see, there's some truth to that, to the average guy, because the average guy, what he does is that, he's so focused on the woman. And so then what happens is that, he's hooking up with a bunch of girls, doing all these things and making it very woman centric. And then so what happens is that if he's just trying to have one woman, then he's like, I'm so used to having more women, so it's hard to be with that one woman, right? But also on the other side of the coin, what will happen is that if you're the type of guy who's, because he also said, you go through this burnout thing. So a lot of times the burnout happens, again, when you're making it about the woman. Because, see, what frustrates you, what will frustrate you about dealing with women is if you make it about women. So, for example, a guy who says, hey, meet me Friday for drinks at this bar. And let's say that's the bar he always goes to, right? And he says, hey, meet me Friday, 8 o'clock. And he goes there usually Friday, 8 o'clock anyway, after work or whatever, to chill or whatever. And so he goes there, and then she ends up flaking. He's probably going to be like, so, because he was going to be there anyway. This is what he does anyway, with his life. Now, another guy, he invites a woman to dinner at a fancy restaurant that he never goes to. He is so expensive, and he just doing it to impress her. Now, he makes reservations, he gets there, and then she calls him flakes. He's pissed off. Why? Because he's doing this for her. And then so now what happens is he keeps doing more and more things for women, and he gets burnt out and he gets frustrated. So that's what happens.
You will also be tempted to bail on the relationship when small problems arise because you've never had to deal with that as a single man living that kind of lifestyle, and you are used to simply getting rid of a girl that is giving you a hard time or not satisfying your wants and needs 100%. So at some point, you will likely think to yourself, why would I sit here and deal with this when I can just go get another girl? And that is obviously not conducive to maintaining a long-term relationship.
Well, that's true, but also too, it's a different thing having a long-term relationship versus just hooking up. So what he's saying is, if this chick is annoying you, just toss it to the side and get a new one. That makes sense when you're being a player, right? Because you're just like keeping it casual. But if you're actually trying to be in a long-term relationship, you're not going to do that because, one, you're going to be vetting a woman who's actually going to be, your girl. So by the time she's your girl, she's already been vetted and things are in place how they should be, and she's following your program. So it's a whole different story. You feel what I'm saying? So you're not just going to be like, all right, I'm gonna bounce out of here because you've already orchestrated a specific type of relationship with that particular woman. You usually just say you charge the chicks to the game quickly when that chick is just a random chick you've been fucking with. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But let's continue. It's almost done.
If that's your goal. Another con is the time and money factor. Even if you are highly efficient with your methods of generating new leads with girls all the time, you will still be investing a significant amount of time into communicating with girls, setting up dates, inviting them over, running the dates, sleeping with them, the time after, etc. No matter what you do, it will eat into a significant part of your time and productivity as a man. It is not possible to be your most productive while also maximizing the number of women that you can date. And
so he's right and he's wrong. So I say he's right because it's going to take some time, because it all takes time. You understand? You got to, when you're doing the things, it's going to take time. Now, what I say he's wrong on is that you can't be productive because of the time it takes. Because if you notice, and I teach you guys this, if you're paying attention, this is a lot of what I teach you guys. Get to the fucking point. Be direct, right? Set shit up on a schedule that you want to have that benefits you. This is why when Eterius called up, notice I let him go through that whole back and forth fucking text message thread that he said to the chick. Imagine how much time and energy it took to do that. When all he had to do was get her information, set the fucking time and date, and then meet the chick. Right? And what happens is that when you start, having sex with these chicks, right? You can create situations where, you make it easy for you to do that in an efficient amount of time. Right? Like I remember there was a chick that I used to hook up with. And I remember I went over like her place at like 7, and I was out of her spot at like 7:30. You understand? Like it was that quick. As soon as I got up in there, got naked, got in the room, did what we got to do, peace out. Half an hour. And I was able to do everything else I needed to do during the day and make the shit happen. You see what I'm saying? So yes, it's going to take time, but you are the orchestrator. You orchestrate the time that it takes. Listen to me.
And depending on what you do with these girls, it can also get financially costly quickly. If you go on dates, things like the gas, the Uber rides, the drinks, the food, the cover charges, or whatever else may arise will start to add up extremely fast. Even with low investment dates, which is what I prefer, this can add up fast if you're dating a lot of girls. But the bottom line here is that it takes time and money to do it right, and that's money and time that you could be saving otherwise. Not to say that it's not worth it, it's just a trade-off. Now, with all of that said, what are you supposed to do with this information? What type of lifestyle should you aim for? Well, overall, I've had great times in long-term relationships and also being single, dating a variety of girls for years. It's really up to each man to decide. And in many cases...
So I think that's pretty much it's wrapping up on that shit. All right, so let me go through these questions and we're going to wrap this up. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in these questions real quick. So it says, isn't that why you say this stuff ain't for everyone? The game is above everyone. These males watch too much TV, music, and internet and don't have the slightest clue. Am I wrong? No. Well, that's the thing. Dudes need to actually go out here in real life, real time, and live, actual real life to have these experiences. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes, they just watch what's on the internet and they think they know something. Says, I don't see it as a sense of happiness, but rather wanted to get a return on an investment, having issues getting women I'm actually attracted to and keep getting below average. Am I wrong for that? Well, the thing is this. So what happens is that you're saying you want to get a return on your investment, right? So the problem is that you are investing in the woman and not in you. Because if you're investing in you, you're always going to get a return on your investment. So again, You're saying, well, I want, you know, I'm attracted to you know, having issues getting women I actually are attracted to and keep getting below average women. So why are you even dealing with, interacting with below average women, period? Right? So you should say, hey, I'm having problems getting women. That should be your statement. But you're saying I'm having problems getting the woman I'm actually attracted to, and I keep getting the below average women, which means you're spending time, energy, and attention on women you're not attracted to. We're just taking time, energy, and attention from you giving that to women you are attracted to attract them. You understand? So you're not really investing in yourself. You're investing in wasting time with women you don't really want. You see what I'm saying? And if you're investing in yourself, you would get some coaching. You understand? Says, Lucari, do you think a guy can become a player after learning game from you and getting on your membership? Yes, absolutely he can. This is why I tell you guys, get on the Bad Boy membership so that you can step up your game. You said in a video that if we knew what you and Steve did behind the scenes with women, we would loathe you. What did you mean? The sexual things you do to women or say to women on pickup? No, what I'm saying is that so a lot of guys, you know, ask for receipts, right? What I'm telling you is that if you guys knew, right, or understood, or I told you and showed you what was going on, it would be a lot worse than you could ever imagine. And when I say a lot worse, what I'm saying is that the things that you think women would never do, they're doing. You understand? And we're experiencing these things, right? Okay, I'll put it this way, right? So like there's certain guys that I'm cool with who I know don't have a lot of success with women, or their game's kind of weak. And I don't even tell them certain things because I don't want them to get upset. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You understand? Like, I don't want them to feel some type of way. So what I'm saying is that if you guys knew, right, then you would, it's almost like, okay, think about when you are at work. Like, let's say you're at work, right? And you making $15 an hour. And let's say your coworker, you found out they're making $40 an hour, right? You'd probably be tight. And not only are they making $40 an hour, right? They aren't working as hard as you. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's see what else we got here. Says, when you are new to cold approaching and start getting lots of sex with women and it is all new to you, how do you not get delirious and not go berserk with getting all these women? Well, you gotta, do it in moderation, because what will happen is a lot of times when you get good at attracting women and you know how to make things happen and you didn't know how to do it previously, a lot of times you get greedy and you start going crazy. So you have that what you call it? You go through that phase of like you trying to fuck everybody. You understand what I'm saying? You're trying to get as much pussy as you can. You understand? So people said if you only knew what was happening behind the scenes, you'd be investing in yourself to create that lifestyle for yourself. That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, so this says, thoughts on giving your girlfriend of 2 years who is moving into her new apartment a brand new flat screen TV you were planning to use at some point. Would you say, since she's my girl, that's not a big deal? Well, if that's your girl and you want to do that, that's cool. That's your girl. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, though, you know, is that something that you wanted for you, though, first? See, it's one thing if you just didn't give a shit. It's like, oh, I don't really want this TV, so I'll give it to her. But if you wanted it, then keep it for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Let me see what else we got here. Can you be a player, work a 9-to-5 job, or do you gotta have a pimping or social media influencer lifestyle? No, you can work a 9-to-5 job, nigga. What you talking about? So what did you say in that particular situation when the girls came back? Which situation? Are you saying that the situation where you let the girls go and they come back? Right? Is that what you're asking, Unchained? If that's the case, then, you know, if a girl's coming back, right, and you're available, keyword available, meaning let's say you're not in a monogamous relationship, or you are like available in the sense that you still give a shit to even deal with her, then, you know, you just tell her to come through. So are you basically saying that you avoid a lot of problems by filtering out for women that give you consistent high interest energy as opposed to trying to increase attraction? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I try to get you guys to focus more on, the women who have high interest. You'll save a lot of time. Or you talking about when you and Miles are talking to those girls and they left and came back? Oh, so you're saying, so he's asking, what did you say in that particular situation when the girls, oh, we didn't say nothing to them. So what happened is the girls that came back were talking to the other girls and they were like, oh, they just talked to us 2 seconds ago or a minute ago. That's what they were saying to the other girls. You understand? Ridiculous. Where we at? Went on the first date in the car, suggested headed back to mine. She said no. Tried to break the touch barrier. She resisted. I decided to charge her. Right move. Okay, so you said went on a first date in a car, suggested headed back to my place, and then she said no. Okay, so if she says no, so are you saying that you tried to touch her after she said no? So if she said no, you shouldn't even be trying to touch her at that point. You feel what I'm saying? But if you try to touch her before you said, hey, let's go back to my place, right? And then she resisted, then why would you tell her to come back to your place? So, you know, she's not really with it. Okay, we got a few more questions. How do we get at women if they are intimidated of the player style? How do we assure them we're interested? Well, this is the thing. It's not that a woman will be intimidated to the point where they're not going to fuck with you. They'll still fuck with you because they're attracted to you, right? You are going to have some women who are intimidated by it. They're attracted, but they're intimidated, which will cause them to, you know, have some form of resistance. But this is where seduction comes in. You feel what I'm saying? And if you want to learn how to seduce, go to badboymembership.com. So do you think Passport Bros were onto something, not even about the women, but about America going downhill and it being cheaper to live better overseas? Well, listen, I don't care how expensive it is, you know, here. I'm not moving away from New York. It's not happening. It's not happening. Because somebody was like, oh, if you go to, you know, this country or that country, it only costs this much. I'm like, yeah, but I'll be in that country. I like to walk out my house and go to a bodega. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to go live in Thailand. I said Thailand. Like, it's like, oh, it's cheaper in Thailand. Cool, but I'm going to be in fucking Thailand. I don't want to be in Thailand. You understand what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, it's cheaper to live in this country, but yeah, I'm going to be in that country. I don't want to be in that country. I like to go to Times Square and go to Yard House and eat some wings. What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? You say you're so New York. Exactly. I'm like, They'd be like, yo, you know, because like they're like, you can have a whole house for $1,000 American money a month. And I'm like, I get it, but if I go to Bangkok, I'm gonna be in Bangkok. If I go to Vietnam, I'm gonna be in Vietnam. Even though it's cheaper, I'm gonna walk outside in Vietnam and be like, listen, I want to go to Central Park, but I can't because I'm in Vietnam. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's cheaper, but I'm in Vietnam. The fuck? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, bro. Listen, I will pay the high ass rent in New York. I'm sorry. It says, your program for a successful non-monogamous relationship says it's not for people already in a monogamous situation. Does that mean going that route just doesn't work? No, it can work. I'm just saying that program, I didn't put in information about you being in a monogamous relationship and trying to get out of and trying to make that monogamous relationship non-monogamous. So the non-monogamous program is more so geared towards if you're single trying to get into non-monogamy. You feel what I'm saying? Not if you're already in a monogamous relationship trying to switch it up. And you can do that too. You can definitely make that happen. But you know, I'm not talking about that in that program. This says also, what are some good game to getting your girl to swallow or take it in the third hole? What's good ways to introduce it? You got to talk to her, let her know what you like, man. Talk to her, let her know what you like. But see, that's something you should have been talking about when you were vetting her. You feel what I'm saying? So all the attractive women on the dating apps match, but don't try to make things happen. What does that mean? That means that those women aren't feeling you. That's it. It's real simple. If the chick is feeling you, she'll make something happen. If she's not feeling you, she ain't gonna try to make nothing happen. Okay, last question from Pete says, why are you against choosing signals? I'm not against choosing signals. What happens is that most of you guys don't understand that, or I should say this. Well, one, most of y'all aren't going to get choosing signals. That's one. Two, if you do get choosing signals, it's not going to happen often enough for it to matter. Three, if you do get choosing signals, a lot of times the girls who are giving you choosing signals are the girls that you're not even going to be attracted to anyway. Four, when you get choosing signals, it doesn't mean she's choosing you because she wants to fuck you. She could be choosing you because she wants to use you. And because your game is weak, you're not going to understand the difference. Five, what happens is choosing signals doesn't matter because all that matters is how a woman responds to your leadership. And you waiting for choosing signals is you responding to her leadership. So if a woman is giving you choosing signals, and you're interested in talking to her, go and make it happen. But what I'm saying is you still need to figure out, is this girl sexually attracted to you? Is this girl going to follow your lead? Right? So if you need to know that, right, then the waiting on the choosing signals is irrelevant. You see what I'm saying? But damn, we went we got almost 2.5 hours at this point. So I'm about to wrap this shit the fuck up. And I gotta eat this food. I'm starving like a motherfucker. So guys, make sure that you guys go to badboymembership.com and masculineidentitymembership.com. Make sure you guys do that. Tomorrow I'm gonna be actually doing the Zoom call with Miles on the Masculine Identity Membership Zoom call. So if you're on the Zoom calls, tomorrow 11 p.m. Also, I'm gonna be doing before that. I'm gonna be doing the Instagram live with 2 Dapper. So you guys can check that out. Follow me on Instagram at Real Mr. Locario. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. I'm about to wrap this shit up. And tune in tomorrow, 4:15 for the show with me and Miles. And make sure you guys get your tickets to the screening. Click the link below and get your tickets to the Game Kings 2, The Definition of a Man documentary screening that's going to be held in Miami on October 26th, 2024. You'll be the first to watch the documentary, and then after the documentary, you'll be able to participate in a question and answer session with the Game Kings live. Space is limited, so click the link below and get your tickets now. Yes, and get them tickets, people. Get them tickets. And April's putting the link in the chat, and if you're watching this on a rebroadcast, the link will be at the bottom of the video. You feel me? So yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me for this late, and I will holler at y'all later today. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm going out.
I can take the dick off the table based upon my standard. You aren't gonna get hold of this dick if you ain't being the woman I need you to be. You need to realize that you need to cook, clean. You got to understand that you're not the only woman. And if you can accept that, that's fine. That's just the beginning, because you got to work hard for me, because I work hard for me. So that means if you get with me, it's not going to be easy street, because I need to be satisfied, because it ain't no happy wife, happy life bullshit. It's happy Steve, happy Steve.
Being strong with self, understanding who you are, that is the biggest defense to bitch ass weak men.
And there's no excuses for the men not to be strong. But see, there's so many forces. And then so many men are embracing weakness.
I can't stand weak men. Like, I don't like to talk to them. It's hard for me to talk to these losers. I've always been a winner at the winner's table.
You know, I believe it's a sin to impregnate a woman who can't raise a child, you know, or impregnate a woman who's not fit to be a mother. And I think we have a responsibility in what we see today in these weak ass little feminine boys.
I can't tell another man what to do, but I can't dress feminine. I can't wear nail polish. It's just something that I can't do. Why? Because if I'm walking down the street and somebody's having trouble with a flat tire, I want them to feel that they can come to me and ask me, hey man, could you help me out with this? Because those are the type of things that a man will help out with. So I need to look like a man so they can know where to come for help.
Yeah, it is such a thing as toxic masculinity in the minds of bitch ass motherfuckers.
Talk about masculinity, assertiveness, authenticity, transparency. How can a guy who's straight up and honest with what he does be toxic?
If the media can train you to think something bad about it, you hear the word and you want to instantly have a certain reaction. You stop thinking, you start feeling. And when people learn to think and feel and not think through their feelings, that's when they can evaluate a person holistically. And they can say, is this toxic masculinity, or did I just hear something I didn't like? And why did I not like it? And only let me go within myself to see why.
I don't never look at no motherfucker and say, oh, that's a toxic masculine motherfucker. I never ever had, I didn't even know. That was an invented concept from a weak motherfucker that was like, I'm just tired of this motherfucker trying to tell me what to do and bully you over me with this bullshit.
What's going to make you successful is just understanding who you are and getting your mind right and being happy with who you are. That is the thing that's going to really make you successful. Because after you get all the toys, after you get all these things going on, you've had sex with all the women you want to have sex with, you traveled all the places, you're still going to be you, and you're going to always come back to you.
Why do I do this? Why are we even doing this documentary? I want guys to be in the best position possible. There's no way that I'm raising my voice or calling you a bitch ass nigga because I'm trying to hurt your feelings. I'm calling you a bitch ass nigga because you're doing bitch ass nigga shit. And if you continue doing bitch ass nigga shit, you're going to end up in bitch ass nigga situations. You get what I'm saying? So when I call you a bitch ass nigga, trust me, it's because I love you.